Yes, I'm Dr. Frank Romano. I'm a professor at the University of Paris, but I am here as an activist. I organized demonstrations, conferences in Israel and Palestine and all over the world, but just over a month and a half ago, I finally understood why I should be Khan Alhmar. It's not only about the fact that the European Union decided to condemn the Israeli government for a war crime. I came right after the Israeli Supreme Court approved the destruction of this entire area. And why did I do that? Apart from the legal issues where the settlements here are illegally here under international law, have been condemned, but also apart from the war crimes that the European Union suggested have been committed here, the offering of the Israeli government is to move this entire area to a garbage dump where it smells, and many times during the year there is overflowing of water and flooding, and they cannot herd. That would completely change the Bedouin culture, and the Bedouins refuse that option. In any case, let's look to where the Bedouins came from, and this is what angered me so much. They were pushed out of Negev in 1952 and they settled here. And they are the owners of this land. They have the papers to show ownership here. And the Israeli government has a plan, and this is why Khan Alhmar is so important, because this is in the East Jerusalem corridor. It literally, if Khan Alhmar falls and destroyed, the Israeli government will soon be able to divide Palestine into three Palestines: North Palestine, South Palestine, and Gaza. Divide and conquer is what that is what the Israeli government here is trying to do. Well, what happened last Friday was there was a bulldozer on the other side of the highway, and I know why they were there. They were there to level the land, because that is where they're going to put the Bedouins when they remove them from their homes. And we said no. We are here to stop this, but we also did that for two reasons. We're making a statement to the Israeli government that we are not going to let this happen. We are going to oppose that. We're bringing more and more people here. We'll do all it takes to stop the Israeli government from this humanitarian disaster here. But something that's fascinating, people don't understand. This is not just about Bedouins. That's why Khan Alhmar has become so important. Khan Alhmar, when you see during the day and at night, there are people from all over Palestine here, Israeli groups, Americans, Canadians, French people from all over the world in solidarity, not just with the Bedouins. This, again, is a microcosm for the Palestinian struggle. Many Palestinians have been forced out of their homes, have not been compensated, especially during the Nakba. And so Palestinians empathize with Bedouins. It's their story too. It's not just about helping the Bedouins. So finally, I honestly believe that if the Fatah, party can bring people here, they have the means. They can bring buses of people here every day if they wanted to. They can pay those people to build tents, and families can stay here every 2 months and then change the family. We need thousands of people here. We still have a lot of people, but this is not enough to stop the Israeli monsters from consuming Bedouin and Palestinian land. Yes, a lot of the journalists are doing, it's happened. When I was arrested, the word got out and many journalists told the story, but the problem is this: it hardly ever reached the American newspapers. Maybe a little blurb on it, but it was only a very summary. It didn't talk about the struggle. So what needs to be done is groups need to pressure the newspapers and the journalists that when they write an article about it, that it is published to the people. The truth is published, not lies and not sugarcoating that is happening systematically in many countries, not just because of Zionists, pro-Israeli, for good or for bad, blindly pro-Israeli, and ignoring the humanitarian disaster here. Now, why do I think this is important again, that I want to emphasize? Some of us believe that this Khan Alhmar struggle could be the beginning of the end for the settlements. at least to pressure a deal, maybe two-state solution, maybe one state. If we come together in solidarity and people come here and we work together, we have to take desperate steps to oppose the bulldozers. We have to do it, whether we like to or not, because it's not going to happen. The Israeli government is not going to do this. Remove the bulldozers because they are kind in their heart. They are monsters. And they will pay for this. They call themselves Jews. They don't even comply with the mitzvahs. They are violating their own religious laws. And in my imprisonment, the police violated laws instead of taking me in front of the court. This is just an example. When it was time for me to go to Jerusalem to court, they took me to an immigration prison. And the judge in Jerusalem was saying, "Where is Romano? He's supposed to be here." The police lied. They said he's been released. But fortunately, in the immigration prison, I had a cell phone from one of the prisoners, and I text that I am in prison, and they told me the judge has already made the decision that I committed a serious crime, condemned for a felony, and that I'm going to be deported. I wrote that, and my lawyer, Gabby Lansky, amazing lawyer, and the judge was amazing too, showed it to the judge, says, "This contradicts the police. I am not released. I'm in jail and they want to deport me. I refuse to be deported." And the judge says, "Will you bring Romano back to court? I'll give you 1.5 hours." And so they brought me back, ordered the police to bring me back. And so instead of the trial being at 4 o'clock, it was at 8 o'clock. So the judge had to wait. She was very angry and finally scolded the police and said, "You all along have violated police rules, Israeli rules, and also when you put me in the cell in the penitentiary in Jerusalem, you put me in with hardened criminals, and I spoke about Jewish criminals. I spoke about Khan Alhmar, and that was my mistake. And you know, working with Muslims, they accused me of being Al Qaeda, Daesh, Hamas, Hezbollah, and they started to hit me. That was another mistake that the guards made, because I told them I want to go with the Palestinians, not because I dislike Jews, because I speak Arabic, I don't speak Hebrew, and the Palestinians know who I am. But they refused, because the rules are Americans and Jews stay together, Palestinians stay together. So this is another error that was manifested in this whole thing, showing lies, mistreatments, and finally the judge, an amazing judge, decided, "Halas, enough of this. Frank is Romano, you are liberated now." And that was the end of the trial. So in conclusion, this place, why all these people are coming around, because it's more than Bedouin again. It's a Palestinian issue. And people have empathy all over the world, whether they understand the Palestinians, they know in their hearts that it's wrong to destroy the village, and that it means the whole communities. There are 46 communities here. This is the strongest, and this school right here, it's a real school. It's got tables, chairs, blackboards. These kids come out very well educated. That is the first thing to be destroyed by this monstrous, voracious, inhumanitarian government, and which we must stop. Anyway, thank you.